Shard Kingdom, known by many as the perfect example of an immersive theme park filled with many rides and attractions like no other. But it wasn't always like this. It used to be a very different amusement park with very different rides and attractions. This is the history of Shard Kingdom, before it was Shard Kingdom anyway. Let's go back to a few months after the Shard Kingdom opened, when it was known as a different theme park. This is the only remaining footage I have of the old park, so I'm afraid this is all we can use. It was known as Great Coasters Land. Yeah, I know, I couldn't think of anything at the time when I was doing it. And it was full of recreations of previous rides, such as the 10 inversion coaster at Flamingo Land. Yes, at the time I didn't unlock the multi-launch coaster on the game, so I had to build it as a basic steel coaster. And it wasn't exactly the greatest recreation of all time. This was the first ride at the park to come to the park, other than a smaller flat ride. But because it was the first ride to come and I didn't have that much money back then, plus it's such a large coaster, it ended up nearly bankrupting me every time I tried to place a section of track on the ride. Despite all of that, I did end up opening the ride, and it actually proved to be a huge success for the park. For other rides that were there was a very bad recreation of Mumbo Jumbo, and a recreation of Nemesis Inferno at Fort Park. The Nemesis Inferno recreation was probably the most themed recreation I did, and no, the supports that I built on the lift hill don't count, because back then the custom support update did not exist on Theme Park Tycoon. For rides that were there were a few different flat ride recreations, including a recreation of Ripsaw from Alton Towers. And even at one point towards the end of the park's life, I started construction on on-site accommodation, but that idea ended up being scrapped because of a reason I'll talk about in just a minute. While the park did attract a lot of visitors, deep down it was just a small amusement park with not a lot of themed rides. Most of the recreations I did were not heavily themed. Nemesis Inferno was, like I said earlier, the most themed one I did. So then I decided one day to close the park, destroy everything, and turn it into what it is today, Shard Kingdom. And after that, the rest is history. While some of the things from the old park still remain today, such as the entrance portal into the park, and the roller coaster restaurant, which is now known as the Shard Restaurant, it is still a very different park than what it was when it started. But whatever may happen in the future, for now, that was Shard Kingdom's story.